And welcome back to 13 Folds versus the World on RIFreeradio.org. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank our glorious sponsors who are helping put together this prohibition party that we're throwing. Canacare, Merchants Bank Card Systems, Circle Jam Productions from our glorious producer, Dread Pirate Portier, Green Side Up, and the Confederate flag. You know what? I want to talk about the Confederate flag. I've been dying to talk about this since it happened. Right. We missed a whole week.
Missed a whole week where we had no Confederate flags.
A whole week without Confederate flags, but still had racism, believe it or not. But I think it's kind of a shame to me that the focus of this tragedy that happened, where the 9 people were killed at this church, has been replaced by a topic about the Confederate flag, and it's just gone to the extremes where now they're pulling Dukes of Hazzard toys off the shelves. They're refusing to play reruns of the Dukes of Hazzard show, like any Confederate flag merchandise.
I was also in the Dukes of Hazzard, by the way.
Are you talking about the remake, like the reboot movie starring Jessica Simpson?
No, I was the original.
Holy
I played
shit, dude.
Bo Duke.
And Luke Duke.
But you know what's funny about that whole... okay, I almost said, you know what's funny about the church shooting. But anyway, you know what is interesting about that church shooting is the fact that the shooter he said that he was directly inspired by the Trayvon Martin case. So it's like we have this oversaturated case of racism that just got way too much media coverage and got blown up into like this big, huge ordeal, and now it's doing the exact same thing again with a different case.
Well, I think what happens is that the media puts so much focus on these issues with racism, and they do exist, yes.
Yeah, of course.
This country is founded on segregation. I mean, right down to the political parties. Democrats and Republicans are at each other's throats constantly. We've grown up to we've been bred in the United States to segregate, to be racist, to categorize every single part of humanity.
And I feel like the media, when they do a lot of what they do, they draw lines that maybe previously didn't exist before. Now, of course, there's a foundation of racism and all that, but was white Hispanic like a thing before this?
No, I don't know.
No, because I always used to fill out like those SAT form,
Hispanic, Caucasian.
But the thing is, whenever it said white, and then it said non-Hispanic. Like, they were being very particular. I was like, that's odd.
Well, I think really the underlying theme is that there is a culture in the United States, and yes, it is more to an extreme down south in the southern states, which... Was it you that brought it up? Somebody showed me the other day that where the KKK has been given permission to actually... the KKK has been given permission to petition the decision that they're making to remove the Confederate flag off the government buildings.
Way to go, South. We're going to listen to those guys.
So I mean, it's almost like the media, once again, is just getting in there and say, all right, let's show how racist the flag is. Let's get the most racist people we could think of and give them the opportunity to petition instead of showing. I mean, there's a large heritage and tradition from the South, and I lived down there for a long time. And yeah, I mean, I was hated because I was born in the North and Jewish. I was hated double time. But I understand where their ties to the Confederate flag come from. And no, it wasn't originally, the flag of the South. I don't even think that was it, that they had a flag that was original. It was originally the battle flag for the Virginian Army is where it came from. It was actually designed to be the American flag, and it was one of the first designs, and it was rejected. So then it was taken on by the Virginian Army, and then we got to a point where during the Civil War, well, it was Robert E. Lee was the general in the Army, so he was obviously the spearhead and the face of the whole Civil War for the South, and so they adopted his flag, but to say that the whole Civil War was founded on racism, I mean, slavery was a big part of it, but there was a lot more to that. I mean, the whole South, their whole agriculture, their whole industrialization, per se, for that era was founded on slavery. So when they took away slavery, they really did take away the South's ability to function. And yeah, I don't agree with slavery, but I understand where all of that, where all of the heritage and everything comes from, and why they've, to this day, you go down far south, and it is very anti-American. Well, not anti-American, but anti-federal government.
How many people do you think were waving the Confederate flag because they were raising it for the South? What do you mean?
How many people were raising?
Like, if you were to guess, like a percentage, do you think how many of those people were like, yeah, South?
Well, I think the government buildings that are down south there, and I agree with that, with you removing the Confederate flag from government-run buildings, because it's not the American flag. But I believe in the South, when they were where they're putting the Confederate flags on these government buildings, you know, they're saying, hey, this is our heritage, and it was done in response to federal laws that were acted at the time. It did come about more and more during the civil rights movement, is really when those flags started to go up. So, I mean, yeah, there is a definite link to racism, but I mean, my viewpoint has always been, if I'm walking into a neighborhood and I see a Nazi flag on the school or on their state building, I'm going to keep walking. I'm not going to hang out and find out what they got going on. I'm going to walk through there. I'm not going to want to hang out. I'd almost rather know what kind of neighborhood I'm getting ready to move into than not know. And on the same token, I think if you're going to have freedom of speech and freedom of expression and freedom of religion, you should be allowed to hang whatever flag you want, to hang your Irish pride flag, your Confederate flag, whatever you want, your ISIS flag. Hang it if that's what you want, because I want to know. The thing is that taking away the flag doesn't solve the cultural problem. What all it does is it's showing that, hey, we need a change, but the real change has to come from the home. I mean, I watched a video today of some little 8-year-old kid sitting there on a playground talking to, you know, probably a 25-year-old black guy that's 3 times the size of him, dropping the N-bomb, just like he didn't even care, like it was nothing, laughing about it.
Oh, shit.
And it's like, that's not the Confederate flag.
No,
that's this kid's parents.
Somebody should step in that case and be like, hey, kid.
Well, somebody should have sat around and waited for the kid's parents to come and pick him up and slapped him. But the thing is it's a cultural change that needs to happen at home. And I think the majority of the problems that we run into in this country, these are debates that need to happen in the home front. But the government has come in and said, listen, we want to take all these broken homes. We don't need fathers or single mothers, you know, dictating how their children's lives are going to be. We're going to step in and we're going to tell these people how to parent. And that's where the issue comes in. And when you take the government out of that and let it go back to the parents. Let the parents teach these kids what's right and wrong. Keep the media out of it and allow people to get involved in their communities. I mean, if somebody had waited around for that kid's mom and dad to get there and slapped the dad, they would have went to jail. You know? And the thing is that we live in a community and we live in a day and age where you're not encouraged to get involved with your community anymore. You're not involved to step up and say, hey, you guys are doing something wrong. They want us to just step aside and watch. People get on everybody's ass all the time because, hey, I can't believe this was going on and all that guy did was videotape it. He didn't step in and fix, like the Walmart fight with the 2 women and the kid that was punching the other lady in the face.
Great.
Somebody should have stepped in and stopped that. It went on for
awesome.
10 minutes.
That was great. I wish it went on for 15. That was awesome.
But that's the thing is like we're not encouraged to take part and take action anymore. We're discouraged from doing that, or else the people who are getting involved are facing the consequences. And that's the first step to turning this into a totalitarian society.
I don't understand the Dukes of Hazzard thing. Why were they even still airing reruns? That show is old as fuck.
It's the best show ever.
I mean, if you like the South.
Well, that was my show. So
Yeah, Keanu.
Keanu, it
calm
sucked.
down. Calm down, Keanu. You're getting way too emotional about this right now.
You can't paint the General Lee.
What I would,
Apparently you can. Well, we live in the north, so it's not like this doesn't affect me at all. I just kind of get to be like, oh, really? They're taking it down? I can't wait to see how pissed off people get.
well, I think a bag is a bag and a flag is a flag, and you could make a flag out of a bag.
Thank you, Keanu.
You're welcome.
you know what I want to know is I want to know what were the top three. What were the top three arguments by the KKK?
Oh my
I can't wait to hear these petitions.
Yeah.
By KKK, do you mean Kappa, Kappa, Kappa?
Kappa Kappa, Keanu.
You do not use my name in vain.
Not in Greek.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what their reasoning is going to be. I'm wondering if they're going to try to be like, if they're going to try to not come off as racist, or if they're just going to be like, fuck it, and just go all out.
Well, you know what? Let's take this moment. Let's take this moment in honor of the peaceful KKK rally that's about to come up, and let's play some 13 Folds versus the World against our good friend Keanu, and we're going to challenge you. This is why we call it 13 Folds versus the World, because it's going to be us against you in a battle of wits, which we already have the upper hand. So we're going to throw you 500 points to start off, Keanu. All right, so you're already up by 500.
That's impressive, because we usually only go to 5 points.
Well, I thought you guys had called it 13 Folds versus the World because of the name of my band, which is Keanu versus the World.
That's not all right.
Oh, gosh. Who hires you? How do you?
Well, John Wick was the first movie I'd been in 15 years, so...
All right, so do we have any trivia?
I have a question for Keanu.
I would be honored to answer it.
Were you in Speed 2, Cruise Control?
Yes, but I do not know how to use the cruise control in my Daewoo.
Okay, you're wrong. You were not in Speed 2.
All right, so we're already 5 to 100. We're catching up quickly.
You will not catch me, because if this bus goes under 50 miles an hour, we're all going to die.
Okay, let's see. What else?
Oh, you got another one?
Yeah, what's the name of your band, Keanu? Or what's the name before you guys broke up? I don't know if you know this, but you guys aren't together anymore.
We've been having some rough times.
Yeah, how many Keanus are here? Keanu, what was the name of your band before you guys broke up?
I think I've already told you. It is Keanu versus the World.
Okay, it was Dogstar.
That is incorrect.
Keanu, what year were you born?
1916.
Okay, well, it was actually 1964.
That is also incorrect.
Wow, Keanu, you look good for an old guy. 64, huh?
Keanu, you suck at answering questions about yourself.
All right, one more and we're tied, right?
Yeah,
I honestly don't even know where I am right now.
hold on, let me find another one. Okay,
Radio silence.
this is what we call dead air.
There is no silence
Dead
in the
air.
Matrix.
Dead Air is going to be the new band name.
Keanu, what do you feel about, or how do you